investment in our children would cost us physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. It is only now that we can begin to observe the dividends. Whatever life-giving we did is now paying out in the rich life of faith we see in each of our children. However, did I also mention the speed bumps, potholes, blind curves, and other road hazards we encountered along the path of parenting? It was not a smooth ride. After all, every Christian family, ours included, is inhabited by sinful, selfish human beings called parents and children. The idea that Christian parenting should be a purely joyful journey through life is misguided at best and an illusion at worst. And yet, despite our own immaturities and weaknesses, we made it through with no casualties and with faith intact. We're all stronger than when we started. But Christian parenting is more than just getting from one point to another by faith. We know intuitively we're made for something more than just crossing the finish line. We're made to be part of God's epic story of creation, the story He is writing not only for all of life, but for each of our lives. As life-giving parents, one of our most important tasks has been to help our children discover themselves in the story God is writing, to find their places in the unfolding tale of God's grand purpose and plan, and to know that we are all, as a family, in that story together. As I've partnered with Clay in that bigger picture, it has been my privilege to do my best to be a godly mother to our children, to nurture their faith through my love, grace, discipleship, encouragement, instruction, and inspiration. I have found purpose and meaning in trying to be the kind of mother I believe was in God's heart at creation, a life-giving mother, one who brings the life of God to my children. I won't pretend it was always a wonderful journey with no difficulties, but the blessings far outweigh the burdens as I see now the influences of my life on each of my children. They are, as God promised, the blessings. For 20 years I taught and encouraged Christian mothers in more than 60 Mom Heart conferences to become that kind of mother after God's heart. And there was one question that came up over and over after every event. Does Clay have a book for dads about what you're teaching that I can give to my husband? As a gifted teacher and seminary graduate, Clay always wanted to get to that book, but events and ministry administration would never allow enough time to write it. Now that we've retired from regular conference ministry, Clay has finally been able to carve out enough time to think about this book and write it. The life-giving parent is the answer to that question asked by so many moms. I had already written The Life-Giving Home with our daughter Sarah and The Life-Giving Table, so when Clay suggested the idea of The Life-Giving Parent, I was thrilled. It would not only complete a life-giving trilogy, but would also finally provide the book that all those moms for so many years had been asking for, and not just for their husbands, but for themselves as well. It pulls together many of the messages we've taught through the years into a book that couples can read together to shape a philosophy of how to give their children the life of God in their homes. It's not just about giving your children a Christian life, but also about giving them the life of Christ. That's what it means to be a life-giving parent. If you want to feel that cool breeze of God's life blowing through your home and family, I pray this book will show you how to make that happen. It's not a formula, but simply a way of life and faith. It's a life-giving heart and mindset. I'm excited for you as you read this book, not just because of what it will do for your family today, but also because God's life coming alive in your home can shape generations to come through your children and their children. Life-giving parenting will help you and your children to find yourselves in God's epic story.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.